Good evening, Zimbabwe. Welcome to Livetalk, The Connection, a platform where we discuss issues affecting young people. We are coming to you live from Studio 7 at the Voice of America in Washington. This Tuesday, May the 30th, 2023. I am Tungamili Nkomo. Tonight, we are talking about the ongoing public inspection of the voters' roll, which started on a shambolic note 3 days ago. Many registered voters say their names are not appearing on the voter register and are getting no satisfactory answers from the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission or ZEC officials manning their polling stations. The exercise kicked off across the country on May 27 and was supposed to end tomorrow, May 31. But in light of the chaos, ZEC has announced a one-day extension, meaning the inspection will now run through June 1. Those not finding their names on the voters' roll include prominent opposition CCC members. The ruling ZANU-PF says its members are also affected. In other news, the U.S. Embassy in Harare says its charge d'affaires, Ms. Elaine French, today met with officials from the Zimbabwe Foreign Affairs Ministry after being summoned on accusations her embassy is interfering in Zimbabwe's politics. This after the embassy tweeted calling on Zimbabweans to, quote, register to vote and make sure your voice is heard. A top U.S. embassy official confirmed the meeting and told Studio 7 Ms. French expressed Washington's desire to see free and fair elections in Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwe Foreign Ministry, represented by Acting Permanent Secretary Rofina Chikava, issued a statement saying, quote, Ambassador Chikava expressed concern over the U.S. mission's election-related social media posts bordering on activism and meddling in Zimbabwe's internal affairs, adding the conduct by the U.S. Embassy was unacceptable and calling on the U.S. Embassy to, quote, refrain from posting such messages in the spirit of re-engagement between our two countries. The statement from the Zimbabwe Foreign Affairs further says, Ms. French acknowledged government's concern and reiterated her mission's commitment to improve its communication in line with expected diplomatic conduct, and expressed optimism in the continued collaboration between Zimbabwe and the U.S. Litshona njani Zimbabwe omuhle, siyahlangana kuhlelo lwabasakhulayo olwe-The Connection. Namuhla sixoxa ngodaba lokuhlola amabizo abazavota lonyaka kugwalo lwe-voters roll. Uhlelo lolu luqale mhla ka-27 njalo bekumele lugqitshwe kusasa. Kodwa solo zagqitshwa mhla ka-1 phambi kwakusasa ngemva kokuqheliswa iZimbabwe Electoral Commission. IZEC iqhelise lolu hlelo ngemva kokuba abantu abaningi bethole amabizo abo engekho ku-voters roll. Kwaziwa ibatereri nasi muchirongwa che-Livetalk, The Connection. Tiri kutarisa chirongwa chekutarisa mazita evavhoti kuti aripo here mugwaro re-voters roll. Chirongwa ichi chakatanga nemusi wa 27 Chivabvu uye changa chichifandwa kupera mangwana. Asi Zimbabwe Electoral Commission inoti chakuzopera musi wechina mushure mekunge vanhu vakawanda vatadza kuwana mazita avo mu-voters roll. Opposition CCC leader Nelson Chamisa today visited a voting inspection center in Kuwazana 2 to check his name. The presidential candidate told reporters afterwards his details were in order and called on people to also inspect the register and make sure their names appear.
We also have the problem of the voters' roll itself. Our perennial challenge is that the voters' roll must be a voters' roll that people agree on and agree to. The voters' roll must be audited, analyzable, searchable, and of course signed off to by the various political players, by the various stakeholders. Any voters' roll that is not credible will not be accepted and will not accept it. And I know some will say, are you going to boycott the election? We will not boycott ourselves. We are the elections. The people of Zimbabwe are and have the right. They are the ultimate authority when it comes to what should happen. ZEC is our institution, and ZEC must be able to be accountable to the people of Zimbabwe, because all authority is derived from the people of Zimbabwe. So yes, I'm happy that I've seen that people are coming in to also check their names. The only concern is Mr. Mnangagwa, who continues to duck and dive on the days of the election. People have to plan. Some have to ask for leave days. Some are in the diaspora have to come back. International investors have to plan around the date of the election. We also have to plan. We are not as disorganized as Mr. Mnangagwa. So we want these dates. Asindatenda kuti apa ndauya zita rangu richimo asi revamwe vasina kutarisa rakanyorwa rikadi rikadzimwa saka shoko rondopa kunyika nderokuti kune vadzimi uyai mutarise mazita enyu. Check for your names in the voters roll on the online platform or physically, because the most important responsibility, shoko guru rakakosha uye chinhano chikuru chakakosha chemugari chechizvarwa cheZimbabwe kuva munhu ari pavoters roll anovhota, nokuti ukasavhota unovhoterwa, ukasauya unouirwa, ukasasvika unosvikirwa. Saka vanhu ngavazive kuti hatidi kusvikirwa, ngatisvike tega tiende kunonyoresa kuvhota.
Avo vanga vari vaNelson Chamisa, mutungamiri webato reCitizens Coalition for Change kana kuti CCC. Omunye wabati baswele amabizo abo kuluhlu lwe-voters roll ngumnumzana Amos Sibanda.
Ngiyakhangela ibizo lami eBenside filling station lapho engivele ngivotela khona. Kodwa kalisekho khona phana selise-Rio le.
Khatshana unganani lapho?
Akukhatshana. Egaragini is just 3 kilometers. eRio sokuyi ngabona kungafika kuma 10 kilometers.
Kungani bekususe eduzane lapho ovota khona?
Angikwazi.
Nxa ukhuluma labo bathi?
Hayi, bavele bathe hamba khona ngale ngaku-main station se-ZEC. Ukuthi bayaku-transfer njalo ubuye khona ngapha.
Wawungazange ngicela i-transfer wena?
Hayi, azange ngayicela. Vela ngiyifuni futhi.
Ufuna uvotela eduze?
Ngifuna uvotela eduze. Ngizihambele
ngenye. Kwenziwa imingcele emitsha yini lokho?
Ngabo ukuvele ngabona kwenziwe imingcele emitsha njengoba besizwa abanye nabo bekhala.
Nxa ungasatshintshwa uzenza na uvoti lo nyaka?
Ngiyavota.
Uzahamba uye khona?
Ungaze kuyefika ngapha emayizini ngihamba ngiyevota.
Uzahamba uma ngomuntu?
Ngihamba uma ngomuntu.
Kodwa ufisa ukuthi ubuyele lapho khona?
Kube lula.
Mnumzana Amos Sibanda obekhuluma lapho lo Ezra Jesus Sibanda hayi uzimisela umdala uthi la nxa ungaze kuthiwa kuvotelwe emayezini hayi uzimisela uyahamba ke lapho. Kuharare mtori wedu wenawo Frank Shikore hataurawo na muzware Linda Chekeche.
Ndasvika zvinhu zviri right papasina maqueue plus process yacho inambonetsa. It was easy kuti zita rangu riwanikwe muvoters roll.
Tingati isusu mubatirwa wamaitwa pano muri kutambirawo sei semunhu ari kutarisawo zita rake mugwaro revavhoti?
Ndabatwa zvakanaka. This was my first time kuregister kuvhota. Zvinambonti it was easy.
Saka tingati kurudziro yamungape vamwe vachiri mudzimba vasati vatarisa mazita avo ndeyekuti kudi takatarisa nyaya yekuti sarudzo dzava kuswedera.
Ndingokurudzira kuti vanhu vauye kuzocheka kuti uone kuti zveshuwa here zita rako ririmo muvoters roll plus madetails ako ari correct kuitira kuti pazuva rekuzovhota usaite maproblems.
mungatsanangurira vamwe vari kudzimba kuti zvinodiwa kuti semunhu atarisa zita rake mugwaro revavhoti zvinodiwa kuti unge uchitarisa zita rako ndezvipi zviri kutaurwa nevari kubatsira ya
unongoya nechitupa chako, national ID yako kana I think passport.
Muzvare Linda Chekeche vachitaura na Frank Chikore weStudio 7. We'll be right back after this short break.
In times of change, when the world seems uncertain and what we hear doesn't reflect what we see, we seek the truth. When we are told only part of the story, we lose trust. In moments of crisis, our dreams, hopes, and wishes for a better tomorrow depends on a free press. At Voice of America, we bring you the stories that people take risks to see. We connect the world and unite it with truth. At Voice of America, we show you the whole picture.
For those just joining us, this is Live Talk, The Connection, coming to you live from Studio 7 at the Voice of America in Washington. Tonight, we are talking about the inspection of the voters' roll. Our guests tonight are Stephen Sakosi Chuma, Triple C Youth spokesperson, Archfold Guvuriro, a ZANU-PF member, and Utswanetsi Carol Moyo, Youth Gender Secretary for the MDCT. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me start off with Mr. Chuma. We saw your party leader, Mr. Chamisa, today inspecting the voters' roll and confirming that everything was in order. His name was appearing. But in the past days, since the inspection opened on the 27th, we have seen many people, ZANU-PF and Triple C, ZAP, many people across the political divide, including your top party members, Mr. David Coltart, complaining that their names were not appearing, though Coltart tweeted today that the issue has been rectified. But what has been your experience and what was the situation like for your party in many places today?
Thank you. Greetings, fellow Zimbabweans. My report at our ananas, the report that we have received across the country, is that in some areas things actually got worse. For example, we have our interim deputy secretary for elections, and then Shimyebenga, Nasata, and fake offices in Harare to check a name, the police station yake, and she could not find a name. Up to a reason she is currently excluded. And the second maybe violate some of their statutes, the voters' roll. So we don't know about that. Then we also have a situation where we have the members in Shillonga, which is Red South constituency. Those people said they also couldn't find their names in the voters' roll. But our biggest worry is that while our senior officials like David Coltart, whom we have previously mentioned, we also have people like Professor Woshmile, who initially could not find their details. What will happen to somebody who cannot access Twitter, who cannot access the media and raise concerns to say my name is missing? Surely if it can happen to prominent and known people, what will happen kune vanhu vozvavo vari kumaruzevha vari kumusha kunana dotito kunana mweneza vasingazivi kutoenda kupi kana vashaya mazita avo muvoters roll. So clearly ZEC has failed and the ZEC has disenfranchised many numbers that are capable of voting in this year's election. So there's trouble at ZEC something needs to be done urgently.
Thank you there. Vachuma ndiwe kwamuri vaguvuriro vaashkford guvuriro inengo yebator kutongari ZANU-PF vaguvuriro pachenyu savaguvuriro matimano inspector voters roll here uyezve zita renyu riri kuwanikwa here uyezve muri kuti chine zvatiri kuona vanhu vakawanda vachichema kuti mazita avo haazi kuwanikwa muvoters roll.
Tinotenda mukoma wangu nokubata kuita chandingasaura ndechekuti kutanga inini very happy because ndanotarisa zita rangu shuwa riri muvoters roll pandiri kuvhotera riripo patenda yangu riri. Even though ndichizoenda takuenda vota roll institution vanhu unogona kuona kuti novhota roll rakashata ino muzimbabwe kazhinji batire ZANU-PF ndiro rine mastructures kubva kusvika kunational. Ndanichinzwa vachuma vachitaura vana vachuma havakwanise kuziva kuti kwakati makapita zedu haana kunge awanikwa voters roll because havana maticha, so havangazive kuti vakaona munhu achifara achindashekwa voters roll vototi ndewendo umwe ndeweZANU-PF. Ndingapa example yekuti nhasi ndiri kushurugwi ndaswera kushurugwi south constituency ndichiona zvemavoters roll izvezvizvi. Chinhu chandaona hangu ndekuti no both kupekera ndingati all political parties MDC, ZANU-PF, CCC, other political parties vanofanira kuita maown campaign okuti vanhu vaende kunocheka mazita avo kuti arime voters roll. Ma-political parties they are busy kucheka pasocial media kana pano pastudio 7 but haasi kuita macampaign awareness ekuti vanhu vanocheka mazita because vanhu kunocheka mazita vari kuona sokuti zvinhu zvisina basa. Ini ndandicheka idza nemaseo eZANU-PF vari mushurugwi south constituency kwandaswera ndiri ndokona kupisa example neenda marishungo A ndikaona kuti vanhu vatinoti isu vari museo reZANU-PF vatobuda ipapo i20 out of 50 seo rine vanhu 50 azhinji havana. Tikaenda pana taka tikaona pane 4 out of 50 zvichingodzika mazita achipodara. So zvinhu ndokurudzira no mapolitical parties kubva izvo ZANU-PF DC TPC tikurudzire vanhu vedu kuenda kutarisa zita avo kuti pakarejesa vhota arimo because vanhu vanoendereta nezvezvo kutsvaga mari etc but vasisaende kunocheka zita because varodzise zvinhu zvisina basa kana vachikotisa zvinhu zvine basa. Even though ndichida kuzokurudzira muzvek side
Thank you.
ine kunzi tatozoona kuti ma-members msangano wedu weZANU-PF akanyepa tsamba dzekutransfer kubva ma-polling station avo kuenda kune mamwe kuti hazvisati zvajeka kuti vama-polling station akava kudhara vachienda kune manyumbani. Then tine vamwewo kuti vakatransferwa kubva kuma-polling station avo vachine vamwe but ivo vanonyora tsamba dzekuti vakuda kutransfer. Sazvinhu zvatotisirawo semusangano weZANU-PF kuti no zvinofanira kuti izvigadzirise zvinhu izvozvo.
Thank you there vaguvuriro. Thank you there vaguvuriro ndimbokubatai muromo tiunze our third guest. Ndichadzokera kwamuri utsvanetsi Carol Moyo youth gender secretary webandla le-MDCT. Mamoyo ngakucelelenu le-MDCT kumi njani? Siyabona abanye bayakhala bathi amabizo kabawatholi uvoters roll.
Litshona njani balaleli? Hayi mina nami ngomunye okhalayo ngoba ngihambile namhlanje ngisiya-check elami ibizo ngathola ukuthi alikho. then ngithi ngiyabuzisisa ukuthi kungenxa yani amabizo engaveli ku-voters roll ngoba ekuqaleni sithe masithekha abekhona katheso sekujintshile kuyini bathi hhayi vele i-section yethu ngoba mina ngihlala kuma-86 bathi ama-86 and 87 aveli ku-voters roll ngasembuza ukuthi kungani ngoba le polling station ejwayele ukuvotela kiyo and vele siregistered ukuthi sivotela khona la bathi hhayi baza kulungisa ngasembuza ukuthi baza kulungisa nini ngoba bayavala njengale nge-first gate so ngangokuthi basebesithi ngcono siye-check-a ezeki ngasembuza ukuthi upresident engavuke proclaim idate election namhlanje kuzahamba njani ngoba thina amabizo ethu awekho ku-voters roll sizovotela ngaphi sizovota kanjani ngiyabona.
Ngaphandle kwakho bakhona abanye abaningi abebandla lakho abathi bahlangana lodubo lunye nxa ukhuluma lapho?
Bakhona esengingakhuluma nabo because ke sakhuluma ekuseni ikakhulu vele ngoba baningi abakhala ukuthi amabizo abawekho ku-voters roll.
Libona lolu daba lungisiswa yini lapho kuyavalwa khona lolu hlelo? Siyazi belumele luvalwe kusasa kodwa ngenxa yengxabangxoza ekhona izeki ithi hayi soluyavalwa phambi kwakusasa mhla ka-1 kodwa ubona izilungiseka yini zonke ingxaki lezi izeki senelisa ukubhalisa abantu kumbe singazi ukuthi amabizo akhona aye ngaphi but ubona besenelisa ukulungisisa lolu daba abantu bethola amabizo abo esekhona futhi?
Angiboni ukuthi into abayizayilungisisa leyo masinyane ngendlela abakhuluma ngayo but ngesifiso sethu njengabantu abazimiseleyo asebelungela ikhetho lesifisa ukuthi ngathi abayakulungisa masinyane and bengamisi le voters inspection ukuze sikwazi ukuthi sithekhe amabizo ethu kahle sebelungisile i-problem yona leyo ukuthi amabizo ethu adisappear kanjani thina singama-registered voters.
Siyabonga mamo yoqhubeka ubambile and coming back to you Mr. Chuma, let's talk about the U.S. Top diplomat in Zimbabwe being summoned by Zimbabwe, by the Zimbabwe Foreign Affairs Ministry today on allegations that the embassy is interfering, is meddling in Zimbabwe's internal democracy or politics or electoral affairs. And this was after the embassy tweeted encouraging people to go and register to vote so that they can be heard. Is that a crime? Should that be a crime?
It's not a crime at all. But what we've seen from ZANU-PF is that whenever any embassy in Harare or any country in the world talks about respect of human rights, talks about anything that is good as far as human beings are concerned, especially issues like encouraging people to register to vote peacefully. I don't see why that can be treated as a breach of diplomatic ties between the two countries. What is clear here is that ZANU-PF is against peace, ZANU-PF is against the peaceful elections, ZANU-PF is against the smooth running of elections, ZANU-PF is against the openness, they are against the accountability, they are against the kumanyiswa kwema-elections zvakanaka munyika munomu. Asi tinotishamisa ndechekuti munanga abva on the other side vanenge vachitaura vachiti no, we are inviting any country iri free kuti iwe izoobserva ma-elections edu, but nyaya yekuobserva ma-elections haitangi musi wema-elections. Nyaya yekuobserva ma-elections inotanga pre-election, during election and after election. Saka kana dzimwe nyika dzichitaura dzichikurudzira kuti itai ma-elections murunyararo, hationi kushata kwazvo izvozvo. Baba vasingadi kutsiurwa kana vachiita zvakashata vatirova vana, zvinoreva kuti baba ivo vakashata. Baba vanoti kana vaenzi kana kuti vavakidzani vakataura kuti dai mafamba makadai votukana navavakidzani, zvinoreva kuti baba ivo havagoni kugarisana nevamwe.
Guvuriro, of course, we are all on this panel not diplomats, but was any diplomatic etiquette broken by the U.S. Embassy by tweeting, urging Zimbabweans to register to vote?
Yeah, changangotaura ningatanga nokukota statement right for na full founder of ZANU-PF, the late RGM guy. He said Zimbabwe is a sovereign state. No one has the right to decide on regime change. To be guided by that statement, no, when US embassy tweet ZANU-Twitter kama embassy, vakuto interfere nepolitics zedu zisine amabozi if atina kumbo interfere nepolitics dzavo pavaichiza mapresident kuza kwavo. Then ndakuenda kudivi reopposition. Opposition yedu ine problem yekuti inoda kudhisidhirwa yekuita kamavo vanhu vari kunze kwenyika. While iti vanhu vari munyika ndovota. Kuti unge uri president unofanira kunziwa the majority of us in Zimbabwe, no majority of those in America. Therefore, ndinoda kugadzirisa ichiudza kuti no vanofanira kunge vachinoudza president vavo vanova vachinetsa kuti ini president iwai nevanhu muzimbabwe kwete kuenda kunotsvaka support kuamerica kueu kana kupi but iwai nevanhu vemuzimbabwe ende kana vachienda titaura nevoters law hatisi kuenda kunonzi voters law inspection hakusi kuenda kutarisa vakadzi vari kuita zvevoters law kuti vakanaka zvakadini inotarisa mastate todzoka tokudzira vanhu kuti vanhu ngavanowanikwa vanotarisa mazita avo tikatarisa kuti kutamisa nhasi vanotarisa mazita avo interest yekuti tikurudzire masabazi avo kuti atarise voters law vatanga kutaura zvinhu zvisina maturo zvonoona kuti ndezveukere vatanga kutaura zvefazi.
Thank you.
Ivo havaizivi kuti muridzi wayo yani kuti vamunanga gwatimuchivudzi kuti fazi ndeyani.
Thank you there Vaguvuriro. Ngize kuwe tate wethu Mamoyo. US Embassy isisora ngurhulumente weZimbabwe ngemva kokuba bekhuthaze uzulu eZimbabwe ukuthi ayehlola amabizo ukuthi bayebhalisela ukuvota. Kambe kungaba liphutha yini lelelo iphambanisile imelika?
Hayi ayiphambanisanga bekuyinto enhle kakhulu ukuthi abantu bahambe beyohlola kuyinto enhle kakhulu ukuthi abantu bahambe beyohlola ukuthi amabizo abakhona evoters roll ngoba if bekungayenziwanga le-inspection besingeke sibekwazi ukuthi amabizo abantu abaningi awekho ku-voters roll and ukuthi uyothola ngelanga sokumele uyevota bekuzoba into ebuhlungu okufana nami mina aspiring candidate mase ngithi ngiyafika lapha e-nomination court ngiza-nominate kanjani ngingekho ku-voters roll ngingekho la ngingarejistanga ukuvota mina ndirejistile.
We hope you will be able to fix that Mamoyo Slethemba bazokulungisela masinya abe Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. I'm sorry about that, and that brings us to the end of our show. We would like to thank our guests. That's Utswanezi Carol Moyo, Youth Gender Secretary for the MDCT, Stephen Sarkozy Chuma, Triple C Youth Spokesperson, and a ZANU-PF member, Mr. Ashford Guvuriro. Let's make another date tomorrow. I am Tungamili Nkomo. Good night, Zimbabwe.